Media malpractice. Okay. I'll play along for a little bit.
So a stabbing spree, Traverse City, that's Michigan, happened at a Walmart. If you...
Oh yeah, there's this too. Freaking stabbing at Walmart. What the hell? I was just talking about Walmart earlier. Jeez Louise.
watched the local and mainstream media...
I'm sorry, this is just another proof point. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. If that guy had the ability to get a gun, he would probably grab a gun. But guess what? He grabbed a knife. Because you can get knives. Because they're used for cooking and utilities and tools. Knives are fantastic. But they can also kill. So if you're saying that guns kill people, do we have to get rid of knives?
This is what you would have what you would have thought.
What?
I just scarecrowed. I think of things and everything.
It's okay, Crowder. I do it all the time too.
Traverse City, Michigan, stabbing spree at a Walmart. If you watch the mainstream and local media, this is what you would have thought took place.
Breaking news out of Traverse City, a stabbing spree at a Walmart leaving 11 people injured. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rudolph Sineda.
I think so.
If you're familiar with Traverse City, this is the Walmart right off US 31. All of this unfolding around 5 p.m. today. We did get an update from the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office tonight. Here is what we know right now. As I mentioned, 11 people currently being treated. 6 of the victims are men, 5 women. At least 3 had to have surgery tonight. Police have identified the suspect as a 42-year-old man. We're also learning he used a folding knife in this attack. A motive still unclear.
So that's what you saw there.
Motive. Batshit crazy. Motive established.
Right. And looking for more information, and then what I'll present to you was publicly available at this time. This is what the sheriff had to say.
The Grand Traverse County Sheriff Michael Shea said in a press conference that this did appear to be a random attack and would not comment on the mental condition of the suspect, who is in custody.
I'd say bad.
Based on the information that we have at this time, it appears there were random acts, that there was no, the victims were not predetermined. And again, that's based on the information we have at this time.
Okay, so all this information
so he's
what I'm
nuts.
about to show you was available, and they certainly would have known this the second they showed up to the conflict. You just think that was a stabbing, and some citizens maybe got involved, maybe subdued him, the cops took care of it, right? That would be your impression. Anyone here, if you haven't heard this story yet, anyone here thinking, oh, thank God he was stopped by a bystander, by a good guy with a legal gun? Anyone thinking that? Because that's exactly what happened. Here's the video of the man being stopped. Yep, the black man is holding his gun.
Throw the knife that way! Throw it away! Throw it away!
Those guys are getting way too close. Those people here? I'd be a little bit more farther away from that guy holding that. Oh.
These are
Jesus.
some victims. See, the black man is holding his gun on him.
That guy's way too close. That guy's way too close. You could totally, like, stab someone right in the neck. That guy's way too close. If I was the bad psycho person and I didn't care about my life and I wanted to kill him, I could easily do that with a knife. He's absolutely within striking range of his neck. Hell no, I would not be that close. I would be behind the gun, the guy holding the gun.
If he doesn't drop the knife, you shoot him.
And a bunch of those guys right there are very, very, very lucky that that guy.
Yeah, they were being really. They were being really.
Do not close distance like that.
He didn't drop the knife.
Oh yeah, like he said, do not close distance like that. That was way too close.
Shot him, and as Mr. Guns and Gear would say, save the taxpayer hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep,
there you go.
He absolutely should have. By the way, that man was Derek.
Should he have shot him? Yes. Absolutely. You saw this crazy person stab almost an egg dozen of people, around that much of people. There's people dying, bleeding on the concrete over at Walmart just for going shopping. The man still has his weapon. You're yelling at him. Throw away your weapon. I just watched you kill people. And he's still refusing to throw down the weapon. Do I shoot him? God dang it, man. Do I shoot him? Obviously. Yes. Yes, obviously I shoot him. And then I call my lawyer because depending on the state I live in, I'm probably going to jail. But it's okay. Go fund me.
Perry, a hero and a Marine veteran.
Hell yeah, man. W this guy. WWW. Hero.
He has a background in security training.
Absolutely.
So when you heard the story, did anyone think, oh, thank God a man with a gun stopped? Because he would have kept stabbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you'll hear the left say, oh, what, you think you're going to be Rambo? Oh, let me guess, a good guy with a gun stop. Yes, that is true. Just because you guys say it's a cliche doesn't make it not true. You're probably not racist because you have black friends. Correct.
Okay. To be fair, I've had a couple of black friends in my life, and they are genuinely probably the most funniest people that I've known. That's all I gotta say.
White supremacists don't have black friends. Oh, what, you think that if you had a gun, you would stop a guy with a knife? Yes, dummy.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Agreed. Depending on the distance, yeah.
This guy did it without even discharging a round.
Right.
Yeah, that's what stopped him. Now, if he had not stopped the man still would have been stopped by someone with a gun. It would have been a cop. So they didn't present that to you. Here's what else they withheld.
Well, thank God it wasn't one of those self-firing SIGs, though.
Right, yes, exactly. It ends today.
I heard about those damn pistols are shit. Those oh man, they just go off in your holster.
The suspect, 42-year-old Bradford James Gilley, seems to be a nut job with many prior arrests. He believes possibly that he is Jesus reincarnated, which is a mixing of
another
religions that
one.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's already been charged with 1 count of terrorism, 11 counts of assault with intent to kill.
Why is he walking around in our streets? Again, why is he walking around in our streets? People like that are what I'm talking about. The 1% who commit 60% of the crimes. People like that. If you just lock those people up and give them a job, whether they take that job, it'll reduce their sentence or it'll extend their sentence, depending if they take the job or not. I think that's a reasonable ask. Now, if you kill 5, 6, 7, 12, 30 people, I think if you don't work, I think you should get forced to eat insects like in China. It's a cultural, amazing, delicious dish in China. It's a delicacy to eat certain insects in China. So I think the prisoner should be he should be very thankful that he should be able to eat the most delicious delicacies of certain parts of the world. That's what I think should happen if he doesn't work. Is that a little bit too cruel?
What happened to turning the other cheek?
And well, here's the thing, too.
Is that not a attempted? They don't have attempted murder as a charge in Michigan, or is that what it's called?
And we'll get to, yeah, that's what you would think. Here's the thing. This man shouldn't be around in civilized society.
Exactly.
With all these big cities, they become hellscapes. You guys have kids. You guys try walking through you visit New York now and they get scared. I'm sorry, at a certain point, if you have 1, 2, 3 counts of assault and counts of terrorism, and if you don't get to panhandle. This man, there have been complaints about this man in the Walmart parking lot demanding money from customers. This is not new, but because it's Michigan and because of the soft on crime.
You're telling me this guy was just walking around Walmart, give me your money. People were like, no. Stab, 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 stab. Is that seriously what happened? And he's walking around the streets. Okay, here's my crazy opinion. I think that guy should be either one of 2 things. Dead or in a cage. Why do we have to live in a society that is afraid of 1 to 2% of the population. I am sick of it.
My dear, this guy with at least 12 counts that he has had in the past,
12?
including violent assault, is still allowed to go because we don't want
11
to be
too
mean
many.
to our homeless population. And we also don't want you to be able to carry firearms. That's the position of the left. This man, Gilly, he's also from Afton, Michigan, and was last listed as living in, Josh?
Chicago?
No, Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan. It's about 80 miles north of Traverse City. I've been to that Walmart, by the way. It's a beautiful town,
Yeah,
Traverse City. It was a beautiful town on the water, gorgeous in Michigan, up in northern Michigan. I would have once upon a time recommended you go. Since 2019, they've seen, of course, a drastic increase in violent crime, which is trending up.
Kind of hard to see those numbers. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit foggy, but it's kind of sad.
In all of Michigan. 2021, Michigan passed a bunch of soft on crime initiatives like bail reform, reducing probation and jail time, issuing citations over arrests. And so that's led to homelessness in the area increasing in Traverse City like at 2 times the rate of the rest of Michigan, where it's also increasing. To be clear, near that Walmart, there was a Pines Park. We've been there. A homeless encampment that had to be broken up because there was open air drug use. There had been
Okay, so the homeless encampments. I have a solution. I'm not just gonna complain about it. I'm actually gonna have a solution to give you guys, okay? Here's my plan. Homeless camps. Clear them out. Get rid of them. You're not allowed to shit on the street. We live in a civilized society. You're done. You did not buy this beachfront property. You're done living on the beach. Get out. Actually, no, better yet. Not get out. We have a place for you to go. We'll have a place for men and women. That way it's separated. And we'll have a place for crazies. Men and women separated as well. So, we'll have the crazy men in said spot where they'll be forced to get off the drugs that they're on. Essentially jail. I mean, no, that's not true. That's no reverse. That's not actually what I mean. I'm still waking up. Good morning. So I'm not saying lock these people up. I'm saying force these people into structured encampments that are actually built by the government, that feed them, and force them to play by the rules. The rules being no drugs, no crime, and you have to attempt to be productive or be a benefit or try to get a job, or you have to try to do something, and that can be like very lenient, that third one. But those two first ones are a big important one. No drugs and no crime. Now if you play by those rules, you could live in this little community. But if you don't go by that third rule of trying to get out of that community and become a benefit to society, you will go to the exact same place where everyone else goes that don't follow rule 1 and 2. That place is called jail, or a lesser, like a low minimum security prison. Now, if they get out of that and then go right back into that life and just go back into that circle and don't try to get better, then they'll go to level 2 prison, medium security. And the cycle will continue if they don't get, if they do the exact same thing, well, fuck, they're on level 3, which is where no one wants to be. That's my solution. I'm tired of watching homeless people cross the street when they're not supposed to.
break-ins in nearby business.
I almost hit one. Let me tell you this story. So I was driving and there was an intersection, and basically it's kind of like off in like an off ramp. So I was going off the off ramp, and it goes right into a red light, green light, and it was green for me. And in the middle of the off ramp, there's a light post that tells you whether it's going to be green or red ahead of you. And mine said green, and then I saw it green, so I was all good to go. No, freaking homeless person just decided to run out right ahead of me, so I had to swerve off around him going 35 miles an hour. I almost wrecked. He almost died. But guess what? He got to cross the street because he was drugged out of his mind, not paying attention to where he was going. And I almost killed someone doing that. I had to pull over and be like, whoa, man, let me just take a second. That was close. I'm tired of seeing these people. I'm over it.
And of course, people have been complaining, saying, hey, our city is changing. Our city, this is not, and the left goes, no, we have to have bail reform. No, we have to be. This is how you end up with Dirty Harry and Charles Bronson and Death Wish. This is how you end up with that. I did a whole segment on that several years ago saying you're going to see the return of the vigilante.
He's right.
And maybe because of all of that, because of Michigan's policies that have led to more crime, because of the left's viewpoint and their policies on carrying firearms, they don't want to cover the story where Michigan dropped the ball with their policies, and that ball got picked up by a legally carrying citizen to stop a man with a knife who stabbed 11 people.
I want more stories like this where we see people stopping criminals using the handguns on their hips. Not the phones in their hands, the handguns on their hips. I want to see more stories like this. Without the death, of course. I think that guy should have shot him.
None of that fits into their narrative. And so they cover it as, hey, there was a stabbing that ended up kind of being stopped. Here again, just to show you how egregious it is, go read some more headlines and descriptions on this story. From NBC, the suspect, a Michigan resident, was captured in 3 minutes thanks to, quote, citizen involvement, and was not injured. The New York Times, citizen involvement brought the attack to an end, the sheriff said, declining to elaborate. AP, a sheriff's deputy arrived within minutes and took the man into custody, and people in the store also helped apprehend the suspect and treat the victims.
How much can you tiptoe around what happened? Seriously, man, you're like literally walking around the big red button that you don't want to step on. God forbid they actually say what happened and actually push the red button so people can actually have an intellectual, honest conversation with their peers and their families at the dinner table. We don't want that.
It was a man on a wild stabbing spree who should not have been living among those in society because he's a violent criminal, but because of soft on crime policy was able to stab many people, and he was stopped by a good guy with a gun. If you'd have watched that initial, here's the initial.
Fucking based. Fully agreed. I think the news should cover it like that because that's basically what happened.
Story again from local Michigan news. Fast forwarded just so you can see they never mention the good guy with a gun, which is the highlight, one could argue.
I would suggest
Breaking
it
news
is.
out of Traverse City, a stabbing spree at a Walmart leaving 11 people injured. Motive still unclear.
Wow.
Victims were not predetermined. And
They
again,
didn't even
that's
mention
based
the
on
hero
information
at
we
all.
have at this time.
Not once.
I'm grateful to the first responders for their swift response to apprehend the suspect.
No, how about you thank the guy who served his country and saved lives that day? Oh, he had a gun.
Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Yeah, no, I have to be honest, the news is really it does really horrible in showing half truths and half stories. They're very guilty at it. Not just MSNBC or CNN. Fox does it too. But I gotta say, Fox is no, they do it too. It's just left news outlets are just really bad. I think Fox are better at hiding it, but the left-wing news sites are just not good at hiding it anymore. They can't hide it anymore. It's so bad.
So only cops should have guns. By the way, the response time there from cops, 3 minutes. For the citizens, it could be 10 seconds, it could be 1 minute. Just to give you an idea, yeah, when people say, oh, you really think you're going to stop someone with a gun? Yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely. And by the way, it's why every single one of you should purchase a firearm and get good with said fire and carry it as often as you possibly can. I want as many people legally carrying firearms in this country as humanly possible.
Agreed. Fully 100% agreed. Like I was just saying earlier, if you make place hard target, no one wants to shoot it up because hard target will kill them. If you make place soft target, people will shoot soft target and then run away. Very simple concept. Make more hard targets.
Please go do so right away, because I've used this stat many times. But the reason there's such a widespread 500,000 to 3 million annual defensive uses of firearms. That means every single year. Now, the reason it's such a widespread is because
Wow, hold on a minute. Let me just hear that one more time. That was kind of...
firearms in this country as humanly
That was just a huge
possible.
number.
Please go do so right away, because I've used this stat many times. But the reason there's such a widespread 500,000 to 3 million annual defensive uses of firearms. That means every single year. Now, the reason it's such a widespread is because that right there, do you think that would have been reported, if not on video, as a defensive use of a firearm? They obviously don't want to mention it. He never fired a round. There are so many that are never documented where someone just pulls out a gun. Hey, you're a woman, you're about to be raped. You pull out your revolver, and guess what? They move on to somebody else, and that doesn't get reported.
Yeah, like I said, more people holding guns, you build a civilized society. Because if you go outside of the rules of civilized society, you get shot. Now, those rules aren't really that extreme. Just don't rape people.
So at least 500,000 to 3 million, compared to anywhere from 10 to 30. I think the highest year is 36,000 deaths from firearms. Most of them are suicides.
Oh, suicide, yes.
500,000 to 3 million defensive uses of firearms. Let me ask you this. Do you think that saved lives? Do you think that man saved? Do you think that guy was going to stop stabbing? Do you think those other people, the citizens who are all thrown into the same pot, would have approached him if they didn't have a guy with a gun?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would have been going the opposite direction with my family in my hands if I had said family. If I had a kid, I'd be like, all right, Timmy, come here. We're leaving. Come on, Sarah, we're out of here. Damn, that guy was loud.
Leading the charge? 500,000 to 3 million defensive uses of firearms every year. And the media wants you to believe that we just have a gun violence epidemic. Here's a montage just to drive it home.
15 seconds. That's how quickly that Greenwood Mall shooting came to an end. From the time the suspect left the food court bathroom to the time he was taken out, 15 seconds.
We'll move on to something else
in
after
just
this.
the short time I've been talking to you, Eli Dickin pulled a gun, took aim, and took out the threat.
An elderly couple home during the time of an attempted home invasion fights the intruder off after being attacked themselves.
An armed citizen is
More
being praised for
more
stopping a
news,
gunman at a
more of
popular
these.
Oklahoma City restaurant.
More stories like this.
12-year-old grandson grabbed a firearm and fired shots in defense at the masked robbers. One of those suspects, Khalil Herring, died
That
from
kid's
his injuries.
amazing.
Robbers storm a consignment shop in Pleasantville.
Whoa, whoa.
It's a snubby.
Because a worker was armed and ready to act.
A Bay Area homeowner grabs his gun and opens fire after the sheriff says 3 masked men forced their way in.
Told him I was gonna kill him all that with a gun if he didn't get out of my house.
11-year-old Chris Gaither was home alone Wednesday morning when he heard a noise.
That kid's a legend. Get out of my house. I'm in the backwoods of Kentucky. I'm 13 years old. And I got my shooter here with my crawfish. You're a dead man if you step on that wooden board. You better not step on that stair, my friend. You're on my land.
Someone had broken into his house. Scared, Chris grabbed a 9mm handgun.
The sign outside
9
Granny
mil.
Jean's
That's not-
home says, "Save the drama for your mama." My phone,
What?
the 68-year-old told me this evening, drama showed up at her house. A man riding on a bike.
Some guy had pulled off his pants and pulled his pants open and playing with his thing and ran up to my,
Wow.
my yard. And I told him to get away from my door, that I would shoot him.
In the penis.
I love oh, Blackley.
In the penis. Oh my god, these guys are great. Okay. We'll move on to something else.